off so I don't be cold. Let me grab my roll. Oh no, man. I'm running this AC
Are
on.
we lagging?
At least it works for you, but it definitely wasn't working for me and Switch.
What?
That AC.
Oh. Yeah, because I got it in the room.
We had it in the bedroom, but we was hot last year.
Oh. But you know, once you put that AC in, man, you got to keep them doors closed.
No, we keep it closed. It just wasn't working for us.
Which one is it? The big one?
Sorry, what?
The big one? That we had in the
Nah,
apartment?
remember you had an AC at your apartment and I had one?
You know what I also think it is? It wasn't actually plugged up to like an actual outlet. It was plugged into.
There was the one now.
You said the one that we have now is?
Yeah, it's not plugged into now.
I mean, it's cooler than that one, but it's not.
Sorry, actually, I might look like that.
I want so much shit. All right. Oh, excuse me. She gotta play so much.
Appreciate the light switch.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. All good. Let's go. All right. So last discussion. You have the notebook.
Yeah. I don't think this is gonna sum up.
No.
I don't think this is gonna sum up what we're doing with the cases.
You want to sum it up?
I think I forgot.
So we have the case of
Okay.
Avery and Zoe.
I can
Zoe
read,
went missing. Remember?
I can read this. So, okay, so basically it says at 4:30 this morning, Jack Paulson responded to a 911 call from 19-year-old Avery Gardner, who was alone with her twin sister. 19-year-old Avery Gardner. Okay, I want to make sure it's not echoing. Zoe, an attacker, had broken into their... Wait. Oh, twin sister Zoe. An attacker had broken into their house on Ashcroft Lake. By the time I got there, it was too late. The monster had already strangled Avery and left, taking Zoe with him. The entire Davenport PD, along with nearly every police department across the state, and I have been searching relentlessly for Zoe and the killer. While our chief homicide detective Angie Cullen led the investigation, Angie's not just the best detective I've ever met, she's also my fiance. Several hours ago, she sent me a text that I figured out the accomplice and nothing else. She hasn't replied or answered her phone. And as tough as Angie is, I'm really worried. I stopped by her house and she left her notebook and phone on the counter. So I checked our driveway security camera and watched her sprint to the car and peel out moments after sending that text to me. It's unlike Angie to leave her notebook behind, but it's clear she had cracked open the case and was in a rush. She even left leftovers warming in the oven. Angie's in trouble, but her notebook and these investigation items are all that I have. I can't make any sense out of it. She needs our help. I have to keep looking for her, but I could really use your help. If you can identify the accomplice she went after, please tell me ASAP. So we basically have to find the accomplice to whoever killed the first twin sister, and then the second twin is currently missing.
So tonight we're definitely finding the accomplice. That's our next move.
Hopefully.
All right, let's find out who the accomplice is. That's our next move.
So Avery, go ahead.
Are we gonna go through a rehash of the evidence and all of that found real quick?
Yeah, so
So do you want me to start with our three suspects?
so we have the suspects. We got the three suspects. Yeah, let's start with that.
Davis Bateman. He's the who is Davis? Okay, I know Lenny Nelson is the neighbor. Vince Wolf is the tree cutting guy. And Davis Bateman is the real estate guy or the property guy. These are the three suspects.
And then Courtney.
And then Courtney
is the cousin. So we have, what do we have? These are all the cards and the notes that we took on the cards. If anybody needs us to zoom in, let us know. Mars, what's going on? Appreciate you for being here. How you doing tonight? Oh, tell me you on the road again. But yeah, so these are the suspects that we have so far. And the notes. So what we do know, this is their mother. I wish I had a way to show them here. But
you can't zoom in on
what's her name?
Maureen.
Maureen, yes. So this card right here, this is Maureen. This is the mother. Let's see what we got on her so far. I kind of forgot. Sorry, it's been so long. So Mars even no echo. Oh, that's what's up. You want to join the Discord and help us? Discord and help us out? Just in case you want to, I'm gonna send it to you anyways. I'm already in the chat. Just sent it to you. So if you want to join and help us out, yes.
I can keep going over some stuff that I remember.
Right. So Maureen, she's the mom. She was the only one to know where the twins were. The twins made Maureen keep it a secret pretty much, and Maureen gave Courtney and Frank the passcode 2 weeks prior. She stated that the husband, what was his name again?
I don't.
So the husband's name.
Is it Steve?
Steve. Yeah, Steve the husband, and Frank was the dad. So Steve, the girl's stepdad, was actually so she stated to the police that he left at 8 p.m. to get ice cream, but came back empty-handed at 9 p.m. Then they both went to bed at 10:30. And if I remember correctly, Steve said he went to go get some kind of medication.
So their stories aren't lining up.
Right. So and they went to bed at 10:30. So the stories definitely are not lining up. This is Steve right here.
Who was the one that went out for ice cream and didn't come back?
That's Steve. That's Steve, the stepdad.
That's what the mom said.
Yeah, that's what the mom said. This is Steve, the stepdad. He said that he went to the store to get meds.
Late at night.
He got into argument with the twins. He said the twins left to the lake house, went to the store for meds. He says he went to bed at around 10 p.m. and him and Marie went to bed at 10 p.m. and stayed home all night. So that's what he had said. Again, the stories don't line up. So remember, that the girls only told the mom where they went. The mom obviously told Steve, who was the stepdad. Steve ran into Courtney at the market, and Steve told Courtney where the girls were. So now it's going down the grapevine. Courtney called the girls. They did not answer the phone. They answered the phone and said that she wanted to hang out, but the girls wanted to be left alone. At some point,
you have notes for her.
Yeah, at some point, Frank calls the cousin, Courtney, and asks her if she heard from the girls, and then Courtney told Frank where the girls were. So that's 4 people who know where the girls were. Can I see this real quick? We know that Frank, the father, Maureen, the mother, Courtney, the cousin, and Steven, the stepfather, know the code, have the keys, and knew they were going to be at the lake house. Vince, the yard work guy, he knew that the key was hidden under the mat. So that's all we know. Now, the codes are important because when they whoever broke into the house knew the code because the alarm never went off. So somebody put the code in so the alarm wouldn't go off. So far, we think the accomplice is Frank, Maureen, Courtney, and Steven.
One of them.
One of them could be the accomplice because they all knew the information. However, Frank did not have a key, I don't think.
He had the passcode.
Maureen had the key, and Steven had the key. So Courtney doesn't have a key, and Frank doesn't have a key.
I feel like everyone knew that the key was under the mat.
Right, but everybody might have known that the key was under the floor mat. Yo, Mars, you still with us, bro? Okay. I did send you an invite to the Discord if you want to join that. You're welcome. So, yes, this is what we know so far. Let me see what we have over here for the questions. Oh, all this happened in 19 minutes. The body temp. That's it. No, we answered that one. Where's the extra key? Why wasn't it? Oh yeah, we had a chief that wasn't available to pick up a phone at 7 a.m. What did Courtney have in a bag? Courtney and Steven met at the drugstore.
Why did Angie randomly go missing?
Right. So Angie is the fiance of the first responder police who showed up at the scene. That we found out, and his name was Polson. Officer Polson.
These are all her notes, though.
Yeah, but we found out that they are engaged. The last he seen of her, he got a text from her. And she had texted him saying that she knows something.
That she knows who the accomplice is. I just read that off.
Oh, okay, so she knows who the accomplice is here. But she knows who the accomplice is. She left her phone and she left her notepad. This is her notepad. These are all her notes that we're reading. She left all of this behind. We're not even on the right screen. But she left all of this behind. All right, so here's a notepad that she left behind. and she left her cell phone behind and disappeared. So she's also missing. We don't know where she went. Um, so yeah, right now what we're trying to do is find the accomplice. Somebody's brother. Is there any more information you think that we need to recap on?
Um, mm, besides the actions of the suspects, did you recap on that? The fact that Vince was roaming around the property at nighttime in his van.
So is Vince Wolf?
I think it's all in your notes.
Yeah, it is on all of the notes, but yeah, we pretty much got it. So the tattoo artist Taylor Carter is the one that invited Courtney over for the sleepover. Courtney ends up taking a call at some odd hour of the night,
And meeting with a guy.
and then we have Vince Wolf. He was the one that was driving around at night, so he says looking for work. He also explained to the cops that if somebody got into the house, it wouldn't be hard because he knew there was a key hidden under the door. Then we have the realtor dude. His name is Davis, and he said that he was driving around there at night looking for property for a project. And yeah, so that's what we have so far.
Okay.
Who the hell is Wally? The tavern. What do we know about the tavern dude?
I don't even think they interviewed him.
Okay,
I can go through the notes again, but
it's not
oh,
Charlie.
that's the guy who stated that someone was at the bar that night.
Okay.
Like he was the one who confirmed someone alibi. What I don't know what they was talking about.
So
Let's see.
last time we was going through the crime scene photos, and we did find a couple of more interesting things that we missed, as far as the strand of hair, the shard of glass, and the blood.
All right, let me go to the crime scene photos real quick then. So we have crime scene photos, and so what we had established is they said that the phone had cut her hand. So this is the phone that they said cut her hand. If you look at the phone, the glass is only shattered. This is the cut. Close this. Now here's where it's sketchy because this is the cut that's on her hand, but that's a deep cut for that phone. So
And then there's no blood on the phone.
right, there's no blood on the phone. So then what we also found right here, somewhere right here.
And that picture with the plant turned over.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I got it. Boom. Close this. So if you guys look closely, what we feel like cut her hand, get this over, was, so if you look at the bottom of the puddle, there's a shard of glass with blood on it. And then you can see this picture frame up here is shattered. Also, if you look at the top of the puddle, there's a little smudge in the blood. So that might be a good detail. And then there's a picture that was left on the crime scene as well.
Right.
Yo, Mars, if you can hear me, I sent you an invite to the Discord if you're down. If you're not down, that's fine too, but I didn't know if you heard me before when I said that. So that's what we have on that. She was strangled. We also, can't forget this. You gotta do what? Okay. So we also, I don't know if you guys can see this, found a white hair in the windowsill. Let me move it to the top for you guys. So we also found, I think it's hair, we're not 100% sure. But we definitely found white hair in the windowsill. And being that we found the white hair, it takes me back to Marine, because if I go back to them, she's the only one with white hair. However, she does live there, so it could have been there for a while. Well, she doesn't live there, but she has access to the lake house, so there's no telling how long it's been there. But for some reason, forensics said that that hair belonged to one of the twins. I believe it was Zoe.
Well, if you look at the picture of the girl who's laying down,
Mm-hmm.
her hair looks blonde.
The girl
The,
that's
the one,
laying
the
down.
one that was killed. So.
Like, okay, so let's go to the crime scene.
Sorry, I'm trying to do stuff. I be losing train of thought when I'm doing stuff like this.
All right, so we're right here. We'll move that to the top. Maybe. Right, we do need to know what's on the cell phone, hopefully. So once we get past this first step, we do have envelopes, bro. We have these envelopes that's gonna give us more clues as we move on. So hopefully forensics will come through later and show us what's on the phone. However, Sweet said that there was. That's not the right one. What are we looking for? All right, yeah, right here. So Sweet said that she looks blonde in this picture, and she definitely does not look. She don't look blonde enough. But that's the picture of her. So I ain't buying that. Sorry, Sweets. Because then when we look at this photo, and you look at the hair, it is super. It's super white compared to the body laying on the ground.
It is.
But we'll see. We'll see. And Hussein, if you want to invite to the Discord, just let me know. We can do that if you want to talk, or if you don't mind typing, that's fine too. Yeah. So now what we're trying to do is
Find the accomplice.
figure out who we think helped. Hussein, do you need to be caught up on? So here's real quick. We have the mother. Her name is Maureen. Maureen. She knew that the girls were going to be at the lake house. She told Stephen, the stepfather, that they was going to be at the lake house. Stephen, the stepfather, ran into their cousin Courtney at the drugstore and told her that they were at the lake house. And then she got a phone call from Frank, their father, and she and Courtney told their father that they was at the lake house. So that's 4 people who knew they were at the lake house. Those same 4 people knew the code to the security system. And then the mom and the stepdad had a spare key. And as far as we know, the only person who knew the key was under the mat was the gardener dude. That's as far as we know. But we can still assume that Courtney and Frank knew that there was a spare key under as well. So do we have any ideas of who we think the accomplice is?
Nope. Honestly.
Or do you guys need any more detail? We have the suspect page right here, crime photos. These are the business cards for pretty much their family and friends. We have an autopsy report here.
We got locations, maps.
Yeah, we got maps and locations if you guys want to see that. So crime, let me go to the crime photos. So this is on the top left. I'm gonna go from the top left all the way across to the bottom. On the top left is the tattoo on the Avery's right ankle. Then we have this card for the, what's his name?
Lenny, the neighbor.
Lenny, the neighbor who kind of creeps around the bushes and stuff like that. He had dropped it 200 yards from the northeast of the crime scene. This is a picture of the outside of the house. She was strangled, so those are the neck marks. Then right here at the window is where she found the hair, the body, the cut, the alarm system that actually probably. So we already know the 4 people knew that, and then there's the blood and the broken phone. I don't feel like the phone is what actually cut her hand.
Right.
So
a year prior, there was also another female who went missing.
Okay.
East of Ashcroft Lake. So there's a murder on the loose.
Yeah. Didn't we go through something about the time the parents arrived and all of that stuff, and the amount of time it took for them to get to where they were?
So we know we know that the whole scene happened in 19 minutes. So in 19 minutes, from the phone call to the police, the phone call to the police was supposedly Avery calling the police saying that her sister was downstairs tied up. So this is the first minute, and then she gets attacked, and between her making the phone call and 19 minutes later when the first responders showed up, the one sister was unalived. Avery was unalived, and apparently her sister was tied up and dragged out the house. Somebody had time to lock the door. Hold on a minute. Didn't you say there was?
There is a chair.
What is it? So apparently they had time to lock the door behind them and get away. Now here's my thing.
How do we know that they locked the door?
I think you read it somewhere.
I don't know.
Well, you have to. I have it here.
I actually don't remember.
But then my problem with that is if you are out in the country, the picture of the twins in the crime scene is crazy. Yeah, now get this. I actually have the picture right here. Let me pull up the... So here's the picture from the crime scene. This is the picture of the twins. Now on the back of the picture, it has their area, their address, the code, and it says key under their front door. So that's kind of where it's kind of sketchy. It's like, why is that on the back of the picture? It's at the crime scene. So.
But I think, isn't the same picture? No, that's a different picture.
Is it?
I thought you see.
Oh yeah, it is the same picture.
No, I think it's different.
Or I mean, that's what I meant to say. It is a different picture.
Okay.
So,
I almost thought they were the same.
That's the picture that one of the suspects dropped, right?
Right.
During the altercation.
Right. So now my thing is, also we don't know if this. I don't believe the sister was actually dragged out because dragging. What's up?
Pull up that house, the picture of the crime scene of the house, outside of the house.
The outside of the house.
Yeah, you saying that the doors was locked and everything. Remember the chair in the door that's open?
Yeah, I'm working
Well,
on
it
it
says
now.
no visible signs of forced entry or exit.
Right. We don't know if they took the picture after. I'm not sure, but the picture is supposed to tell us everything we need to know. So let me just scroll this real quick. So it looks like the door is open. I can't completely tell if the door is open, but they did say no forced entry.
Right, and if you zoom in on the picture, it looks like there's a chair propping the door open.
Yeah, it does.
It says doors were locked. No signs of forced entry, so they were locked.
Right, so the doors were locked. They said no signs of forced entry, which means whoever did this in 19 minutes, dragging. So now we don't know if the sister was knocked out or something first, but dragging somebody who's tied up out the house. And like I said, they live. It's a lake house. Can I see the map? I had it all organized for you. So the lake house. Let's see this one. All right, so it doesn't really show well, but I'm pretty sure if it's a lake house.
Right here, lake house.
Well, yeah, but like the roads. I want to know. I'm assuming there's one road that goes to the lake house, which means it could be like one long road where you can enter from either side. But
like
with
short drive.
Right, but with 19 minutes, if they needed a picture and description, I'm feeling like the suspect didn't know the twins. So I agree that the suspect didn't know the twins, but why unalive one twin and let the other one go? Maybe they gave the suspect a picture of the twins and said, make sure you get this one.
The accomplice is who knows the twins.
Right. The accomplice, we believe, knows the twins.
They would have to.
You think it's Courtney?
Yeah.
Who did I say it was before?
So don't forget, you think it's Courtney, but don't forget, when the mom told the police what happened, she said that the stepfather, got in an argument with the girls before they left. When the stepfather was interviewed by the police, he said that they both, their mom and the stepfather, got in an argument with the twins. So I think it's sketchy that instead of saying me and my husband got into an argument with the twins, she said he got into an argument with the twins. That's sketchy. Because if y'all both got in an argument with the twins, why would you leave the fact that you was part of that argument? Why would you leave that out? So that's my thing. You're leaving out key details. So to me, she's sketchy. She's sketchy. Like, also, you threw your husband under the bus kind of quick.
Yeah, and her hair is in the damn
Right. So at least we think her hair is anything. So with that being said, I think it's the mom, but we need to come up with a vote because we do need one answer, I think.
I think we should scan this
Well,
and see
that-
what options we have. Try to connect. Or you don't want to do it that way?
I don't exactly know how that works, but scan it. You got your phone?
I already scanned it before last time.
So I think it's the mom.
Because to move on, you have to pick out of all the evidence, and if we're not connecting to the evidence,
That means we suck.
so these are like how to move on to the next. Okay, so you pick out of these options, and then it'll tell you the accomplice and if you're right. So we got the letter from Paulson, the photo of Avery and Zoe, the news article, the transcript, the 911 transcript, the CSI report, the coroner's autopsy report, the view of the lake house,
Which is
the road map of the region, background check of Lenny Nelson, the background check of Vince Wolf, the background check of Davis Bateman, the photo of Courtney, the ID card of Lenny Nelson, the card of Maureen, the business card of Steven, the business card of Davis, the business card of Frank, the business card of Vince, the business card of Talia, the business card of Wally, the CSI photo of the house, the victim, the neck, the hand, the tattoo, the phone, the security pad, the table, the hair, the ID card, and then Detective Cullen's notebook. So we need one item that's needed to identify the accomplice.
Oh, that's just to identify them.
Yeah, we don't know who the accomplice is. We have
Right,
to,
but that's not that like we have like just to identify them, like as in like we have her card with her picture on it.
no, it says right here. It says when you identify the person who set up the twins, visit the page to prove it, and then you scan the card. You pick one, and then it'll tell
Okay,
you.
well, who do we want to pick?
I don't know. We have to pick out of these ones, and
Well, all
whatever
those
one
identify everybody, so we just gotta pick.
of these.
That's what I'm saying. If we decide who we picking, then we can pick it. We can't pick based off of that.
I was just
I know
telling
that's what I'm
everybody
saying.
what
So like,
we're.
what if we want to yo, what's going on, Gold Center? You finally made it to a stream. Appreciate your feet being here, and I appreciate the likes, bro. How's God of War going for you? But yeah, so like, so y'all, yeah, but remember it said that they got into something and she's mean, so that's what they did. But I'm down to vote Courtney if y'all down to vote Courtney. This
I
is,
don't know. I feel like more sketchy stuff is pointing towards the mom
that's what I'm saying, but
because of
this
the
is Courtney.
hair. The stories aren't adding up. And she was the first person to know where they were going. The argument.
And if
Courtney is just
hold
like
on.
on
My
the
dad
side.
had a solid point too. Remember when we was talking about the distance? Oh wait, no. We discovered. Never mind, because I thought it said that they got the 15 minutes, but then we kept reading and it said that they got a call at 5 a.m. So it actually took them a minute to get there. So never mind on that. My fault. I appreciate the what is that? Appreciate you, Center.
The art.
Yeah.